From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big noontime here on LALATE with incredible great details about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today. In this recording, we go over the breaking news out of the White House, the breaking news out of Chuck Schumer, and the breaking news from Mayor Pete about that fourth stimulus package. That fourth stimulus check will be the biggest payout you've ever seen in the history of this channel, and we go over all the details you need to know in this noontime recording. Then the second half of this recording, we go over the incredible, wonderful, big changes to SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits that will be lifted up one time and then applied with a benchmark that'll change your benefits for a generation and for a lifetime. Incredible great news. Then in the middle of this recording, we go over the thousands of dollars that viewers continue to get, and I'll show you how you can get it as well. It's a big noontime. I'm really excited for you. Let's get to all the details. Direct live here from Santa Monica, starting right now on LALATE. Hey, good noontime, everybody. How are you doing? How is your Tuesday afternoon? Well, the sun finally came out here in Los Angeles, so you can certainly tell. There's finally some light coming into the set, can you imagine? How's the weather where you are? Tell me in the comments to the video right now where you're watching from and how's the weather. You can finally see some June gloom as the overcast has settled away, and now we got some light coming on in. Just in time for your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today. In this recording, we'll be going over the breaking news from the White House, breaking news from Chuck, and the breaking news from Mayor Pete. We'll be going over how much you're going to get and how incredible this all is. Then the second half of this video, we'll be going over the fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up, but then apply a benchmark and why it's going to be absolutely groundbreaking because it will change your benefits lifetime. Wonderful news. Then in the middle of this recording, we're going to go over the big money you're going to get across the board and the thousands of dollars of viewers have gotten, and it's your turn to get as well. This is LALATE, your only 24-hour a day, 7 days a week financial news channel. Live in the morning like this recording, and then taped in the afternoons. I'm next back with you with Afternoons LALATE, taped at 3 o'clock. Then Evenings LALATE at 5, and then Evenings Crypto. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers in a year for a reason, a YouTube record. This channel cares, this channel helps. Viewers help one another. It's the Purple Power Spirit. Subscribe and be part of the best community and the best family there is on the internet. Also, like this video. 2,000-3,000 likes and consider becoming a member. Purple Power, and the link is in the top of the chat. Let's get right into that fourth stimulus check update of 2021 starting right now. There is a House bill and a Senate proposal. Let's compare and contrast them right now. The House bill from Jalopal provides a monthly stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate proposal, on the other hand, provides a stimulus check for a shorter duration. Let's compare and contrast. If you're in the live chat just after 11:20 Pacific Standard Time, get ready to vote House or Senate and tell me where you're watching from. But don't vote yet. And if you're watching later in the day, then drop into the comments below the video. House bill from Jalopal, pandemic plus 1 year stimulus check. Senate proposal, on the other hand, July to December. Let's compare then the monthly amounts. There you go. House bill from Jalopal, $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. The Senate proposal, the amount is unknown on a monthly basis, but word on the street is it's this. Wow, wonderful. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. That is per person. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. That is per person. Now let's go back to Jalopal's bill provision because the macroeconomics may impact what's going on here. So Jalopal's bill, pandemic plus 1 year. Insiders believe that legislators may contend the pandemic is over by the time the vote occurs. So that means that Jalopal's bill would provide 1 year of stimulus checks, 12 months, not pandemic plus 1 year. Let's see how that plays out then. 12 months of stimulus checks under Jalopal's bill is $13,000 under Jalopal's bill. Compare that $13,000 over 12 months. Compare that to this over 6 months. Oh boy, I think you have an opinion. So drop in the comments, House or Senate, vote which one you like, House or Senate, and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. All right, let's go over the other incredible great news about how this works. First, who gets the fourth stimulus check? You get it. You got the third, you get the fourth. Makes less than $75,000, you get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check, double it. Household 4 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. What about the other items? Well, 4 stimulus checks would not be taken out for taxes because it's not income. 4 stimulus checks would not come out in ways because they're monthly stimulus checks. And 4 stimulus checks would be the same amount for everyone. Wonderful news. So everyone would get the same amount, adult dependents, minor dependents, and all individuals. Remember, I'm just a reporter. I report the news. I don't make representations or guarantees. They make the representations and guarantees. They're writing the bills and they're voting on it. And their representation is this is going to happen and that the vote will occur no later than July 4th. That July 4th means that you would get the fourth stimulus check in the month of July for the month of July, in the month of August for the month of August. And there we go. That is the start of your wonderful fourth stimulus check update of 2021 in this recording. In the second half of this recording, we're going to go over the big detail. Well, just a second, actually. We're going to go over the big details of what is happening today about fourth stimulus out of the White House, just in the last hour or two, what happened on Friday, what happened yesterday, and there's a lot of 8 other wonderful breaking news stories I'm going to go over in just a second. But first, here's a preview of the second half of this video. In the fall, it's fifth stimulus, which will have an add-on, and that add-on is SSI, SSDI reform. They're going to raise everyone's benefits up one time. This is if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, veterans benefits, to a big, wonderful new number, and then apply a benchmark. In the second half of this video, we're going to go over what we're seeing today on Wall Street that gives us more indication of how that benchmark works. It's great news. All right, let's go to some other great news, and it's thousands, hundreds, or tens of thousands of dollars that viewers continue to get every hour of this channel. Not an hour goes by without a viewer sending me a wonderful message, either in the live chat, maybe you're doing it right now, or in the comments of the videos, or on social media saying, thank you, LALATE. I got money for rent. I got money for utilities. I got money for SNAP. That is how this channel has been helping viewers since day one. $25 million for EIDL grants, then $250,000 for this in the fall. And we've been back doing it, and you have been killing it. If you've gotten money, I'm going to get you more right now. If you haven't gotten money, get a pen and paper ready because we're going to get some money right together right now. There's $350 billion of this money for you. No, not $350 billion exactly for you. That's the share. But it's coming from the federal government. It came last week and it's coming this week. And it starts with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners utilities. So get that pen and paper ready. I'm going to show you that there are several places to look, but each place has different eligibility. So if one says no, reach out to the next one. They have different eligibility, also have different pots of money. And the first thing we're going to get is that rent. $5,000 approximately, 4 to 6 months of rent. So let's get that money and let's start right now. Where do you get it? Here you go. 6 places. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. The key words you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You don't say stimulus. And that's wonderful. $5,000 approximately for rent, and then money for utilities, and then money for mortgage and mortgage help. Congratulations to Tim who got this, Linda who got this, and all the countless viewers who drop comments. And if you got it as well, drop in the live chat or in the post comments, because it empowers other viewers to show how these videos are helping people and inspires other people to get the money as well. All right, the next set of money is wonderful, and it's SNAP, and it's been one of the big winners. I've gotten so many people SNAP. Gail said a thank you overnight. She got SNAP. Of course, Lynn got it for herself, her son, and her mom. So, wow, viewers are just killing it on SNAP. What is SNAP? How much do you get, and where you get it? I'm going to go over all the details right now. SNAP is money for food. SNAP is money for food. You get it by reaching out to Department of Agriculture or DOA. Call 211, get connected over as well. And how much is it? Well, a family of four in Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Wow. $16,000 a year. Why so much money? Because of two things: an executive order from Biden and an executive order from Trump that were both wonderful, that raised everyone's benefits up 15% between now and July. So go get it. $16,000 for SNAP in Hawaii, $5,000 for rent. We are killing it, and we are just 10 minutes into this video. Well, guess what? I got more money, and one viewer got $5,000 for this money, and it is wonderful. It is money coming back from your states to you. Let's go over all the details. The federal government has identified states as overpaying you unemployment benefits due to a computer error. Yeah. And due to that computer error, you got overpaid benefits. So the federal government stepped in and said that was the viewers' money to keep, not the state, even though the state asked you to return it back to them. So the federal government has ordered the states to return the money back to you. Oh, wow. So how are you going to get this money? In the bank account you have on file with your unemployment department automatically, when every state has different routing times to reach out to your respective state. The next pot of money, I have a story shortly before it that I want to tell you, which is absolutely wonderful. It embodies the spirit of this channel with people helping people. A very kind viewer 2 nights ago jumped into our hit news show, Overnight's Crypto, which is about cryptocurrency, not about unemployment. But he knew I was in the live chat. He wanted to find me so that he could deliver this message to you, especially today. He got his check on Friday, and he knew that some people may not have gotten their check and were confused whether they're going to get it and his message was, LALATE, tell the viewers they're going to get their check. Stay positive. I got mine. Tell them I got mine on Fridays. Tell them to stay positive. How wonderful is that? Went out of his way to find me to share that information to help you. That is a true spirit of this channel, people helping people. All right, now let's go over this big money, and another viewer got $2,000 for it. Well, let's go over what it is, how you get it, when you get it, and how to track it. It starts right now. The first item is, what it is the money you paid to IRS for your unemployment benefits in 2020. Here's an example. You had $9,000 of unemployment benefits. Your total tax bill to IRS was $5,000 on that 2020 return, of which $4,000 was your taxes on unemployment benefits. Congratulations, you're getting back that $4,000. Next, how? In a beige or white envelope in the mailbox. So be surgically careful going through that mail slowly over the next few weeks because it is a razor thin envelope. You do not want to throw away that envelope. Then when? The checks were sent out in the month of May so that you receive them in the month of June. So all the checks were sent out in the month of May, not received in the month of May. So you'll likely receive them in the next 2 weeks. First receiving them are single individuals, non-complex returns. Then single individuals, complex returns. And then finally, married couples, joint filers, they come last. Finally, how can you track it? 75% of the time, it works. And I'm going to go over the details with you right now. Go to irs.gov. Set up a username and password, put in your social security number, and do a transcript search. It will then reveal when you filed your 2020 tax return, when you pay taxes, and when that refund check was issued. If there's anything better than that, could there be? There is, and it's your fourth stimulus check update 2021 continuation starting right now. Moments ago, the President of the United States spoke about what he's going to be doing tomorrow. I'm going to be discussing that in a second, but first let me go over what happened on Friday. On Friday, the incredible great news from Leader Schumer confirmed not one, but 3 things which I told you what he was going to announce. And I specifically said he was going to announce them on Friday. And what were they? Number 1, the reconciliation process has begun. Number 2, the reconciliation process will end around no later than July 4th. And number 3, that the reconciliation process will not stop or start or be dependent upon any further negotiations that the president may or may not have. The legislators are doing their law creation, and the president can check whoever he wants to check with, but the Leader Schumer is not holding that up for it. So what did Mayor Pete say then yesterday? Mayor Pete, who's part of the president's cabinet, said, at some point, you have to call the vote. You can't keep on doing negotiations. And what did the president say today? The president today said, I'm going to be meeting with that one Republican again tomorrow. It's not Mitch. That one Republican again tomorrow and see if we can negotiate a little bit more, which again has no impact on the legislation, as Leader Schumer has indicated. So why is this moving so quickly? And let me go over all the incredible details. Going back to what caused the ball to roll, the first of 8 breaking news stories, and it started with Jalopal. When Jalopal had originally wrote that House bill that provides those monthly stimulus checks, over 100 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying we are putting those stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package. So about a week ago, Jalopal wrote a letter to Schumer and said, basically, call the vote. Call the vote. And when Jalopal wrote that letter, why was it written? Because at that point, there was no reason not to call the vote. The Republican counterproposal had not come in substantial enough, and so Jalopal said, let's just call the vote. It got even better. It got better because Jalopal's letter to Schumer was co-signed by about a dozen House members who are among those who had written that letter to the president saying we're going to put multiple stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package. Wow. Can we get better than that? We can. And we got better than days later on that Friday when 7 House members wrote the president a letter and said, within a week, we're going to start calling the vote, and we are going to be working with you to put those multiple stimulus checks, monthly stimulus checks, into the fourth stimulus package. Now, work with you is a euphemism because the president doesn't write legislation. He's in the executive branch. He's the president. These people do. But who are they to say they're going to write it? Well, they are on the subcommittee of the House that is solely and exclusively only responsible for writing legislation about stimulus checks. And they did that for the first stimulus check, the second stimulus check, the third stimulus check, and now they're saying they're doing it for the fourth stimulus check. So these people are actually the people who write the legislation on the House side for stimulus checks. And they've done it 3 times before. And they're telling the president right before the vote started a week ago that they're going to put it in there. Oh my goodness. Did it get better than that? It did. When the president that same day said, if I don't get a decent counteroffer by the Republicans by the Friday before Memorial Day weekend, last Friday, I'm going to let my legislators start calling the vote. And that's exactly what Schumer said on Friday. Then this last Tuesday, it got even better when the president did something wonderful but a little confusing. So let me slow this one down. The president met with the country's leaders around the globe about the global minimum corporate tax rate. What is global minimum corporate tax rate? It means that you would not want to move your business from the United States to, let's say, France, because the president's trying to raise the minimum global corporate tax rate. So it would discourage you from moving. He got an informal agreement to 15%. Well, then it got even better because later that day, the president reportedly told insiders that after fourth stimulus becomes law, he's going to reach back to those global G7 country leaders and get them to sign on the dotted line the global minimum corporate tax rate. And if they do, then he's going to drop the U.S. corporate tax rate. Stimulus checks and a lower corporate tax rate better than what were proposed in the fourth stimulus? Yes. It doesn't get better than that? It does. It got better than that on Wednesday when the president of the United States got the counterproposal last when the Republicans said, no, call the vote, Chuck. And then on Thursday, finally what you was waiting for, and I really do think this is probably the best news of this entire sequence of events that snowballed, was when senators, Democrats, not Chuck, but other senators came out and said, it's time, call the vote. Call the vote. We're not going to wait around anymore. Mr. President, you can have your meetings as he's going to do tomorrow, but we are not going to wait around. Call the vote. And there you go. In the second half of this video, I'm going to go over what calling the vote means and how the steps are involved. I have a surprise for you in the second half of this video and also a personal message. But also coming up is fifth stimulus, how it's going to raise your benefits and change you from a lifetime. What can get better than that? Getting money from the volunteers. If you've had problems finding that rent, that utilities, that homeowner's assistance, by trying it on your own, you can't find it, don't worry. The spirit of this channel is people helping people, and that's who the volunteers are. They're viewers just like you who are salt of the earth and have stepped forward to help others. They're in the community page, and they're there to help you. So reach out to them. Where's the community page? Open the description to this video. Down in the description, you'll see an emoji of a house. Next to the emoji is a link to the community page. On the community, then when you click that link, you get to the community page. It has a picture of some kitty cats. Then lower on the page are the volunteers. Reach out to them. They can help you get that rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. Here's a little bit about the community page. I'll be back in 60 seconds with more exciting details about fourth and fifth stimulus. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Noontime LA with incredible great details still going to be covered about that fourth stimulus check update of 2021. And then we turn to fifth stimulus as well. This is LA, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel, live in the morning like now, and then taped in the afternoon. I'm next back with you on Afternoons LA at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Then evenings LA at 5. Evenings Crypto at 7, and then overnights LA. So subscribe, 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year for a reason. This channel helps people, and you help one another. Also, like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Membership link is in the top of the channel, the pinned comment. More about that in a second. Let's get right to fifth stimulus that heats up this fall, and it's absolutely wonderful. We're going to go over the details that are breaking today and what you should expect this week that could impact this money. Fifth stimulus has that add-on, and that add-on is SSI and SSDI reform. Let's go over broadly what this is. They'll raise your benefit limits, then add a new asset limit, add the inflationary benchmark, remove the marriage penalty, and remove the income exclusion. All right, let's go over what that means, apply the breaking news, and do the analysis. All right, first, they're going to raise everyone's benefits up. Who? You. So SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, multiple benefits, survivor benefits, all will be raised up one time under fifth stimulus they represent. Then they're going to apply a benchmark, and that benchmark is inflation. Now, we know what inflation is. That's easy. But what's a benchmark? Every December, they look and see that benchmark and see whether it's zero or a positive number. If it's zero, your benefits don't change. If it's a positive number, your benefits go up next year. Here's what you need to know, is that the benchmark always lifts up your benefits or keeps them flat, the same. They never step down. So we're trying to figure out what this inflation rate will be. Later this week, we're going to see more economic data come out of the Department of Labor and elsewhere. Of course, we'll certainly see the new jobless claims on Thursday, but we're going to see a lot of other numbers. And from those numbers, we're going to get a better sense of how high the inflation rate will be in December. Here's the wonderful news. The inflation rate, by all accounts, will be the highest of a generation in December, much higher than it is now, which would lift your benefits lifetime. Let's go over the analysis. Jeremy Siegel about 2 weeks ago said the inflation rate will be 20%. That might be too high. Then the Federal Reserve out of Georgia said we're at 4% growth now. We're going to head to 10.5% by December. Ooh, wow. That's about 7% inflation. And then we have a lot of analysts saying maybe 4 to 7% inflation. Let's choose a number. Let's choose 6%, for example. This is how it would work. First, they would raise your benefits up. Then, in December, they would look at the benchmark. Let's say the benchmark is 6% inflation. It would step you up 6% for next year. But not just for next year. Lifetime. Because once they step you up, they don't step you down. So let's say the year after that, the inflation rate is 0. You don't step down. You would always be at plus 6%. If the year after that, the inflation rate is 2%, then you're plus 6 plus 2%. Wonderful, wonderful news. All right. Then what else is happening under fifth stimulus? They will move the asset cap. So you no longer will be limited to keeping $3,000 on bank account on hand just in time to get those stimulus checks in your hand. That 1980s law is going to go away. Then they're going to remove that 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. It's going to go away. So if you want to work, you can. And finally, the horrible marriage penalty is going to go away. It's awful. It prevents you from getting married because of fear of losing benefits. And if you are married, then you get penalized. Love is going to win. You'll be able to marry your longtime love interest and you will no longer be penalized. That's fifth stimulus that heats up this fall. And it's just wonderful. September to October is when they represent. They'll get this done. That means what hitting your bank account around November. The benchmark would be applied for next January. And there you go. Now, it's important to understand that fifth stimulus has a lot of other things in there besides just this. And in a given video, I never have enough time to go over everything that else is in the fifth stimulus. The fifth stimulus is the American Family Plan, is the name the president gave it. A horrible name because there's actually money in there for single individuals. How would you know what's in there? By becoming a member. The link's at the top of the channel, the pinned comment. As a member, you get access in a message from me daily of what's in the fifth stimulus, the fourth stimulus, and third stimulus. Every day, I send out to you through the community page of YouTube, which if you have it set up to send alerts to your email address, everything that's in the fifth, fourth, and third. For example, single individuals get paid under the fifth stimulus, like hazard pay, like money for seniors, medical assistance, and other items. So there's a lot of money in the fifth stimulus for single individuals. That's delineated in the details daily. Fourth stimulus has a lot of other items, which I don't have time in the 30-minute video that's currently 26 minutes to go through as well. And in July, there's a lot of bills intersecting. And a lot of things happening at the same time. So at minimum, subscribe. Because if you subscribe, then you have the knowledge. And knowledge is king. Ignorance is not. Here's an example. In the month of July, there's another budget bill getting called for a vote. Not this budget bill. A little confusing? Yeah. In the month of July, you could see other Jalapal standalone bills being called for a vote. A little confusing? Yeah. And in the month of July, the fourth stimulus check they represent will go out in the month of July. What's also going out in the month of July? The third stimulus check for the children. They're different checks. So there you go. Let's then cut back to fourth stimulus and go through what's important to understand the routing times and the voting times for fourth stimulus. Over Memorial Day weekend, when we were a tighter, closer group of people with more people on vacation, I was able to go through this. The reason I went through this is important for you to know how this works. I don't want anyone to say something like, they don't care, they don't like us, they're dragging their feet, because the Constitution requires them to do this. The Constitution requires these 9 voting steps, which I'm going to go through right now. The first half are all procedural steps. The second half are all substantive steps. It's important you know these steps because calling the vote is actually a lot of voting. Step 1. The subcommittee of the House has to vote on the procedural bill. Step 2, the House floor has to vote on the procedural bill. Step 3, the Senate has to vote on the procedural bill. And step 4, the President has to sign it into law. At that point, the procedural bill has passed into law. The tow truck has passed over the finish line. Time to go back and get the tow hitch, the substantive bill. Step 5, the House subcommittee votes on the substantive bill. It's at this point that the House subcommittee could put the multiple stimulus checks in at the subcommittee level. They don't have to, but they could. Step 6, the House floor votes on the substantive bill. And then steps 7 and 8 are the 2-day vote-a-rama in the Senate. During those 2-day vote-a-rama, senators can introduce amendments. They can introduce multiple stimulus checks at the vote-a-rama if the House members had not done it already, or if the House members had done it, they can introduce amendments to change the amount or change the provisions. And that's step 9, the President signs into law. So it shows you it's a 9-step process to get from point A to point Z. It's required by the Constitution. It's not something created by any person or any party. It's required by the Constitution. Finally, a personal message. It's very important to understand that as this voting process starts, it's important to stay positive and it's important to start pushing. So the Purple Power is coming back in full force. Over Memorial Day weekend, I launched something called the Purple Power Positivity Push. It's important to understand that the viewers of this channel push very well and push with positivity. We don't bring negativity on this channel. We don't bring negative thoughts, and we also don't bring incorrect information. So I want you to always understand that while the reconciliation process is a one-party process, and it may not be your party, that's not the focus of this channel. This focus of this channel is getting people help. Whether it's $25 million of EIDL that I got on day one for viewers of this channel, or $500,000 that I got from viewers for rent and utilities in the fall of last year, or everything else that we're doing right now. The focus is always keeping it positive. So if you see someone that drops in the comments that says something uninformed and negative, then inform them about what the correct answer is and to tell them to keep it positive. Or if they seem confused about the situation, tell them the correct answer so that they know what is the correct answer. Because ultimately, when people know what the information is, then they can feel more positive about it. And with that, thank you for joining me on a big Noontimes broadcast. I'm next back with you with Afternoons LA. That's going to be a big show. It's at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And then we go into Evenings LA at 5 p.m., followed by Evenings Crypto and our massive hit last night's show, below all the ratings numbers, Overnight's Crypto. Oh, stop the music. I have a surprise. We forgot the surprise. So you may have saw the surprise last night. Last night, this channel considered your recommendations and rolled out 2 more overnight throwback shows. You love the shows because they're entertaining, they're fun. Home decor, how to decorate the house, how to do fun things. So we brought back some of your favorite shows. So now you have not 2, but 4 throwback rerun overnight shows during the evening for my vampires. 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 midnight Pacific Standard Time, 3 a.m. and 3:30. Very, very late night. So with that, enjoy. Roll the music. And with that, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and consider becoming a member. Purple Heart, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. I'll see you next on Afternoons LA at 3 o'clock. Stay informed, stay focused, stay informed, and stay with LA for more.